good, y'all? Welcome back to another one. As y'all already know, what we about to get into on this channel, it's going to be a good one. Stay tuned. Let's get right into it.
Now AI is trying to replace prisons. This is scary. You have to watch this.
A facility designed to treat criminals like patients. Instead of spending years in an actual prison cell, prisoners could finish their sentence here in just a few minutes. Cognify could someday create and implant artificial memories directly into the prisoner's brain. These complex, vivid, and lifelike memories are created in real time using AI-generated content. Depending on the seriousness of the subject's crime and their sentence, the memories could be tailored to the rehabilitation needs of each subject. The artificial memories implanted by Cognify would be seamlessly incorporated into the existing neural networks of the brain, preventing cognitive dissonance and ensuring the subject experiences the memories as if they were real. The Cognify concept offers a new approach to criminal rehabilitation, transforming how society deals with offenders by focusing on rehabilitation rather than punishment. Cognify is then placed around the head of the prisoner. The intensity and the type of artificial memories is then adjusted depending on the crime. Inside the criminal's mind, time would pass differently, slower than in real life, making them experience years' worth of artificial memories in just a few minutes.
So now AI is trying to replace prisons.
Now that is really creepy though. Like, and this is something out of like a Black Mirror episode for sure. That's crazy, man. I would hate to have to go through that for real.
X was so spiritual, but you didn't listen to him. Look at all these books about spirituality and the occult that he had. He was diving into the power of the mind and healing frequencies. That's why this Tesla quote is so important if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. X was really onto this stuff. He even put healing frequencies in his music. I want you to screenshot this. In 1953, a worldwide agreement, they changed it from 432 to 440. Now this is the A note. Look how much more peaceful 432 hertz is. And some of the benefits of 432 hertz helps in the release of serotonin and endorphin, lowers the blood pressure, stress relief, and relaxation. 432 hertz is a healing frequency. If you want a list of the other frequencies that are healing for you, you can go to my profile and join my free community. I have a whole list of it in there. I mean, just by this picture, you can tell how much more peaceful this is and how disruptive 440 hertz is. But I know that still, even people are going to be like, no, that's not true. That can't be. I challenge you. Pay attention to how you feel when you listen to a song that is 432 hertz. Like this song, Dreams by Kato Kato. Screenshot this so you can listen. It's much more calming. It calms your energy. It doesn't wire you up and make you all anxiety. It calms you. This song, High Off Life, is 432 hertz as well by Kato Kato. Now it's an itch in your head. You're like, is this true? Is this guy telling me the truth? It's an itch in your head. Now you have to find it out. Now you have to find out for yourself. Screenshot this and listen to the 432 hertz song. Much more peaceful for your aura. Kato Kato Dreams. Do it. X was so spiritual, but you did.
Shout out to X, man. He really, he was really on a mission. It sucks that he had to go out like that for real.
Fellas, y'all gotta stay out those comments, arguing and bickering back and forth with each other. Don't y'all know that's a woman's emotion? That is a female's trait, man. I be so baffled when I be seeing dudes in the comments, whether it's my comments or anybody's comments. It's just a bunch of grown men, they in the comments arguing with each other. I'm talking about paragraphs, just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Man, y'all are so emotional, man. Y'all dudes are so emotional, man. The same dudes that be in them comments going back and forth with everybody, arguing back and forth with everybody, y'all are the same dudes that argue with women and female in real life. Y'all the same dudes that can sit back and go back and forth with a woman in real life. We don't do that, man. We don't do that. Let them have that. Get out to our feelings, man. Get out to our emotions, man. Y'all be all in the comments arguing, bro. That's female shit, man. Let them females do that, man. This day and age, man, I don't know what's going on, man. Y'all tripping. It ain't just the young boys, it's y'all old heads too. Y'all old heads tripping too. Get out y'all feelings. Get out of y'all emotions. Find y'all a purpose. Get focused. Get to the bag and take care of your family.
You know there's no such thing as protein. Body, think about the gorilla. What protein is he getting?
So it don't even come from plants? Like,
not at all.
He don't need protein, and he bigger than all of us. He eating green leaves.
Yeah.
Whatever protein they say exists, got to exist in that.
Yeah.
That is a westernized formula that's man-made in a laboratory. How can a white substance help me with my proper nutritional value? You want minerals, such as that sea moss you just took. That's gonna provide you with more minerals than that white substance. And
so what about like vitamins and fish oil? Is that any good?
They have their job that they do. When you have black seed oil, well, I use fish oil. But there's always great alternative. And the great alternative is always what? That plant goes into the ground and it extracts all the minerals from the ground, digest them, and then we take that and digest it and get all the minerals that it. You know there's no such thing as protein. Body, think about the gorilla.
He really was trying to get wet. It's crazy.
Aaliyah, what they did with her is.
Did you know unforgiveness can make you sick? According to research by doctors at Johns Hopkins, there is an enormous physical burden to holding on to anger.
This is true, but did you also know that gratitude and anxiety cannot exist in the brain at the same time? According to a 2023 meta-analysis, it showed that gratitude actively blocked out toxic emotions like envy, depression, and anxiety. Causative factors of illness are not strictly physical, as they can relate directly to mental and the emotional lives that we live as well. And whether we realize it or not, our conscious and unconscious belief systems and emotions can directly affect our cells, tissues, and organs. This is why I teach mind-body practices like the parasympathetic breath and the butterfly tap to help regulate your nervous system down to the cellular level. I've also written a book called As We Thinketh that talks about what you are affecting with these thoughts and emotions and how to correct those holistically. You can find that in my exclusive community. God bless you. Have an amazing day. I hope this helps.
That's interesting. It's like you can't have one without the other, you know? Makes sense.
Everyone is fighting for their own battle, to be free from their past, to live in the present and create a meaningful future for themselves. Don't judge. Have a heart. Everyone is fighting for their own battle.
The deepest lesson that I learned from being paralyzed is that if you can still feel pain, you have the ability to be healed. It's only when you can't feel anything, that's when you're in trouble. Because when you lose touch with your feelings, when you lose touch with that emotional part of yourself, you become a shell. And once that happens, you'll start to do things to fill that void that's unhealthy. So this is when people fall into drug addiction and people start to do things that harm themselves just so they can feel something. That's deep. For the first 4, 5, 6 months that I was paralyzed, I had no feeling at all beneath my waist. But one day I woke up, I started to feel a burning sensation in my toe. And from that moment on, I knew that I would walk again. See, a lot of people don't understand that pain is actually your body's way of healing itself. When you feel pain, that's the first step of the healing process. But a lot of people try to run away from the pain. A lot of people try to avoid pain, and they don't understand that until you can embrace the pain and go through it and understand that on the other side of that pain is a stronger you, right? It's just like if you start exercising and working out, that shit is gonna hurt in the beginning, bro. But once you get into it, once you become consistent in it, the strength that you have, the confidence that you have will override that pain. And now you'll actually start to be able to use pain as a vehicle to transform and empower yourself. Right? So understand, bro, that if you're going through any type of pain right now, bro, you're on the path to healing. The deepest lesson that I learned from being
Indeed. When you finally found seeded watermelons. You got a whole truck full of watermelons because they all seeded. I agree, man. Get them all. Why not?
Charlamos un ratito, bebé.
I mean, it's your life. You sold out. You signed that contract. You wanted to be this famous person.
stomp on a spider, you might end up releasing a swarm of hundreds of babies all at once. And this is because some spiders don't actually lay their eggs in a web. Instead, they have to carry around their egg sacs, which are connected to their spinnerets. Once the sac hatches, the baby spiders will crawl up the mother's back. And if you happen to step on the spider, the babies will swarm the area. If you stomp on a spider,
The reason that all your computer screens are blue lit, the reason none of them are red lit, the reason none of them pay attention to circadian biology is because that original technology was developed in a government program that Bobby Kennedy knows about, and I happen to know about because I went to medical school at LSU. For those of you who've never heard about Operation Paperclip, you think it's all conspiracy theory. So at Tulane Neurology and Tulane Neurosurgery in the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s, the CIA started a program there where they would do all these crazy things to monkeys. The CIA wanted to see how they could control things utilizing different things like drugs and things like that. Where the neurosurgeons got involved, which is my clade, we would drill tops of the heads off, put wires into the thalamus, put electricity in there, and kind of see what kind of behavioral changes we could have. One of the guys that was in that program was a guy named Professor Delgado. When he saw that we could control the behavior with the wired device, he said, what if we do it wirelessly? So he checked it in monkeys and checked it in bulls, and it turned out you can do it wirelessly with RFID chips and semiconductors. Then the CIA took it to the next level. They said, well, since this is electromagnetic radiation, what if we did it through light through screens? And it turns out you can. And that's the reason why all your computer screens have the frequencies they have. So why is this all important? Well, the person that set this meeting up between me and Bobby is the patent attorney that made sure that Google and Meta have those things so they can control the things that we all do. Where did the original idea come from that started off in MKUltra with the CIA? You're going to be surprised when you hear this. It came from the mafia in Las Vegas. They wanted to build a new city in a desert. They enclosed it all, blacked out the windows, invented slot machines that were blue lit. And they found out that they didn't have to take a gun, stick it in your face to steal your money. Then they even got smarter. They said, let's give people free alcohol while they're doing that. And they found out they got the money quicker. And that's when the CIA got the idea to start this program. That's really how it started.
Wow, that's crazy.
This is why some people never tell others what they are feeling. Every single time they tried explaining to you what they felt or what they were overthinking about, you just thought they were trying to start an argument, when all they wanted was for you to understand what they were feeling. The loneliest people are the kindest. The saddest people smile the brightest. The most damaged people are the wisest. All because they don't wish to see anyone else suffer the way they did. This is why some people never tell others what they are.
Another day, another delicious sauce for you to enjoy. This time it's cherry barbecue sauce, healthy vegan style, which means I'm using no oil and no refined sugar to make this sauce. However, it's still delicious with plenty of flavor. I'm putting it on some veggie wings, but it's versatile so you could put it on just about anything. And as far as the taste, come on now, you know it's good. So save the recipe and make your own.
Bodybuilding bubble gut. How to get rid of it? I see young people walking around in their 20s and their 30s. They got big swollen face. They got massive big gut because they are bulking. That's needless. You can build muscle without that gut. I tell you what causes that bubble gut. It's all the shit food that you're eating. They cause a bloat in your belly. This guy here, it's got about trillions of bacteria. It's like a city. If you go to a city, put a lot of gangsters in the city, you're asking for trouble. When you eat all the shit processed food that you're eating, high carbs, lots of porridge, lots of all that shit, all that's doing is feeding the bad bacteria in your gut. That's why you got that belly. Listen, if you want to get rid of it, eat the right stuff, feed the right bacteria. You want 85% of your bacteria to be good bacteria. I don't have a gut. I eat 3,500 calories a day. I don't have no fucking gut. Guys, sow yourselves out. I got all of this in my muscle building ebook. Stop wasting your time and get the fucking book. Bodybuilding bubble gut.
You should stop wasting your time and get the book. Oh, that's funny.
Don't eat vegetable oils. If you just did these things, you will be extremely healthy. Avoid sugar, avoid fructose. avoid fine flour, and avoid vegetable seed oils. Vegetable seed oils made from seeds. That doesn't mean coconut oil. That doesn't mean olive oil, because that's made from the pulp. That doesn't mean butter. It means sunflower seed oil, soy oil, canola oil, all the oils that are manufactured. Those are the ones you must completely avoid. You don't eat vegetable oils. If you just did these
If you lightly brush...
Peace to the gods and goddesses. Lately, there's been a lot of people noticing paranormal activity. I've been having numerous gods and goddesses inbox me. Some showing me different images caught on their ring cam, or orbital structures, ghastly images, apparitions. I had a god recently told me he had to move because there was so much crazy paranormal activity going on in his house. People have been noticing more and more shadow apparitions out the corner of their eye. I've been noticing weirder and more peculiar dreams lately. You may also notice yourself becoming more psychic or more clairvoyant. What I mean by that is you may be thinking in something in your mind and go to scroll in your phone and literally see it pop up right in your face. You may notice you was just thinking something in a movie that you watch and may say it or something like that. The synchronicities may be more on time. It's just everything in the dimensions are overlapping and you're noticing more that the past, present, and future doesn't exist, that we exist on all timelines simultaneously. Also, sometimes it don't even be shadow apparitions. Sometimes you may see actual objects, but may only be visual in your peripheral perspective, okay? In the peripheral spectrum, you may see a whole something completely there. It's not even a shadow, then turn around and it's gone. This is also because I overlay in the dimensions as well. Also remember, it's more than one CERN. It's not just the CERN in Switzerland. They tell you that, but it's multiple companies trying to ascertain the God particle. If you pay attention, you can literally see the matrix crumbling all around us. There's talks of a financial institution and Federal Reserve collapsing. And then we got the alleged assassination attempt on Donald Trump. And then right after that, Joe Biden catches COVID-19. Keep in mind, a lot of these things are also distractions, Cosmic Family. Typically, when the media show you something, it's to basically keep your eyes from seeing something else. Always remember that. There's also been a lot of global technical glitches. Recently, a lot of airlines had to cancel flights and things of that nature from an alleged IT hacker. I personally believe our sun caused the matrix to actually have a lot of malfunctions like that. Just like this picture, the sun is going to actually cause the matrix to break down and expose what it really is. Remember, if you have a soul, you have a sun in you as well. So you are synonymous with that sun. You have a symbiotic connection with that sun. All right, and then pretty soon what it's going to do is going to give you the ability to peer clear through the illusion, and you're going to see all the ones and zeros fall down right in front of you. What scientists refer to or call as so-called junk DNA, or our junk genetics, or deoxyetheric acid, if you want to refer to it as that, is actually coming online. And this is due to our placement in the cosmos currently. There's going to be a merging of your cosmic celestial light body with your corporeal body, all right? And this is why it's imperative and urgent that you remove all parasitic organisms from yourself, as well as cleanse yourself of all harmful toxic metals. This way you have the ability of reaping the benefits of light code activation. Peace to the gods and goddesses.
Yeah, that dog got hopped. Got hopped for real.
This is what really happened to Kanye. Remember that one time when he was exposing everything and everyone, and he said everyone is controlled and they all sacrifice someone? This video?
They can't control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
He then read this text message out loud in the video, but I'm just going to show you because it took him a while. His trainer said, if you don't pipe down and stop talking, I'm going to institutionalize you, give you medications, you're never going to see your kids again, and you're going to become a zombie. You all know what MK Ultra was, right? It was when the CIA was experimenting with brainwashing and institutionalizing people and playing stuff in their ears so they would forget about their past and act a certain way, blah, blah, blah. Well, his trainer, Harley Pasternak, worked for Canadian intelligence before he was a trainer. Now he trains celebrities. And he said this. Remember in 2016 when Kanye West got institutionalized and he was never the same? He was at Harley Pasternak's house when the ambulance came to get him. So it seems like these trainers, well, this one in general, their job is actually to keep these guys in check. This is what really happened to Kanye.
That is actually insane that they even have like stuff like that, like MK Ultra and all this weird stuff. goes to show you that we just like an experiment to them, you know, and see how long how long they can go with keeping us like this in this experiment.
Why would a loving God allow so much suffering?
I do not know why God allowed evil and suffering. For thousands of years, philosophers and theologians have struggled with that question. They've never come up with an ultimate answer. And I am not going to be able to ultimately answer you. But as a follower of Christ, I have to think. First point, Genesis chapter 1 records that when God created this, God saw that it was good. When God created that, God saw that it was good. So God did not create evil, suffering, and death. But in Genesis chapter 3, we read how human beings rebel against God. And when we told God to step off, to get lost, to remove his act elsewhere, he partially honored our request, and when God stepped back, chaos, destruction, and death entered. So you and I were not born into a fair world. You and I are born into an unfair world. Not because God created it that way, but because the all-powerful God chose to partially limit his power by creating me free. If I haul back and slap this man and turn to you and say, God made me do it, I'm a con artist. I'm a liar. God gave me a hand for the purpose of loving and respecting this man. But because I have a free will, I can roll this hand into a fist and send it crashing into his handsome face. If I have the audacity to say God made me do it, I'm a liar. I have a free will. And you and I live in a world where there's a tremendous amount of suffering, evil, and death that's a direct result of human irresponsibility. Now, why? Why did God choose to create us with free will? Ultimately, I do not know. Well, come on, Cliff. It would be better if we didn't have free will. Then we wouldn't have evil and all this suffering and death. Yeah? We also wouldn't have love. Because in order to be real, love has to be free. If it ain't free, it
Why would a loving God allow so much
You got a point.
suffering?
You got a point. You got a point. I'm not gonna lie.
Why did ancient Egyptians portray themselves smelling a flower? Have you noticed all these portrayals of ancient Egyptians smelling a flower? Do you know why they did it? Here is the answer. The flower in question is a lotus flower. It held great significance in Kemet. It grows in muddy waters but remains untouched due to a special coating. It represented the importance of remaining detached from the world even while living and working in it. It was usually represented with the god Her-Nefertiti, symbol of creation, beauty, rebirth, and the sun, sit atop of it as its master, pointing to the mouth as the controller through word sound. The act of smelling the lotus was a way to open oneself to the consciousness of the creator. The pose was so intriguing that scientists decided to study the flower. The experiments have shown that the Kemetic lotus has similar effects to herbs such as ginkgo biloba and the drug Viagra, opening the vascular system and mental pathways, thus facilitating expansion in consciousness. So, the lotus symbolized creation, emerging from the murky, disordered waters of primeval potential to establish order and truth, and make way for life, as well as spiritual enlightenment. Why did ancient Egyptians portray?
When you see this, what do you think? What's your diagnosis? You might be thinking that, but actually it's parasites. But what about this? You can say, oh, that's just hives. You're having a severe allergic reaction to something, and then you give them steroids or Benadryl, but that's not a good enough solution to the proper cause, which is parasites. What about this? You can say, oh, that's psoriasis. We need drugs for that. Actually, it's parasites. All these nasty skin reactions, dermatitis, parasites. In seborrheic dermatitis, with the white flakiness, you can say, well, it's fungus or bacteria, but parasites will harbor fungus and bacteria.
Did you know that every single part of your body, almost every aspect of how you handle your life, is owed to how you use your breath? Inhale and exhale through the nose, better health, less disease. Inhale and exhale through the mouth to generate energy. Short inhale through the nose, long exhale through the mouth to meditate. Breath of fire, rapid inhale, exhale through the nose for euphoria and energy. Long inhale through the mouth, long exhale through the mouth, releasing trauma. Inhale through the mouth, exhale through the mouth in an O shape, deep grounding and body connection. Inhale, exhale through the mouth in a whistle for instant joy. Did you know that every single
That's
part
a lot of stuff to remember. I gotta replay that video. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of breathing exercise to remember. Smart. Pretty smart. I don't know how you did that.
Day by day, I slowly approached the realization that the internet has taught me more than school or college ever has. Come here. Now, the explanation as to why this water bottle trick works has to do with pressure. Now, when the blue straw is pushed underneath the yellow straw, there is so much pressure that the yellow straw can't pull water from the bottle. Now, if you were to lift the blue straw above the yellow straw, it lessens the pressure, therefore the water can be pulled from the yellow straw. That, or it's just magic, but I'll show you how to do it. Now for this, I used a bottle of apple juice and I used a screwdriver in order to make the hole. Now if you need to increase the size of the hole, just get something sharp and then run it alongside the circle until it increases enough to where you can get a straw in there. For the lid, make sure the straw that's up top is bigger than the straw that's on the side. Okay, it should look like this, and now you have a makeshift water faucet. You just increase the straw and then put it back down, pull it up, and put it back down. So there you go. When you show your friends, they're either going to call you a scientist or a wizard. Either way, I guess I don't mind either one.
Pretty cool. Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. Oh my god. Oof, he is scared for his life. I don't blame him.
Jeez.
Don't blame him, because they be driving
I'm just
crazy.
getting home from work. Does anyone else just sit in their car outside of my apartment, and I can sit out here for an hour, 2 hours? It's ridiculous. I used to sit in parking lots in my car and just chill. Does anyone else do that? Or am I the only parking lot bum? I don't fucking know. I'm tired. I literally woke up late for work today. I didn't even set my alarm, and I got a phone call from work that woke me up, and I just jumped out of bed. And literally, I jumped out of bed. Here's the funny part. I jumped out of bed thinking like I just had like a sports bra on or something, and I put on another tank top over my tank top. I'm a hot freaking mess, I tell you. A hot mess. I'm proud of it. Embrace it. I look a fucking mess. My god. Look at it. Stay true. I'm just getting home from work. Does anyone else just sit?
Why do black men love white women and Latinas so much?
Analyzing. Analyzation complete. Black women have insisted that they are strong and independent and no longer need a man. In fact, they are getting more degrees and creating more businesses than their male counterparts. This doesn't leave a lot of space or room for loving and caring for your man. As a result, these men are going towards cultures that are going to be more open and welcoming to him. It is not a matter of skin tone, but a matter of culture, as black men wish to be loved by their woman and not compete with her in every level and aspect of life.
Why do black
I ain't do that.
Oh no, he's about
Real
to fall.
good Christian, religious, and spiritual people support a devilish music industry. You know that it's nothing that they're talking about in this music industry that has anything to do with God. If Jesus came back right now, which song on your playlist would you show him? Not a damn one. Then you need to look at every single rapper that done ever told you to kill a nigga. Ain't none of them niggas for God. Niggas who will literally say to you, like Youngboy said, I make music that them youngins gonna kill to. Why you not upset with every single industry puppet that's standing in front of you pushing the same sex, money, murder, drugs that God would not approve of? Either you for God or you against God. Ain't nobody gonna be able to infiltrate and mock you if y'all all was real Christian people to begin with. But you walked away from Christianity a long time ago. You're not for God. You're for the devil in this day and time. Real good Christian religious.
Red fruit is for energy and vitality. Purple and blue fruit is for relaxation because it's high in antioxidants. Green fruit is for the digestive system and detoxification. Orange and yellow is for the brain. Whatever feeling you have is your internal guidance system. And if you know the colors of food, you can use this for your advantage. Your pits is not meant to smell. Your breath is not meant to smell. You're not meant to have runny noses. You're not meant to have smelly farts or smelly poos. This is all unnatural food seeping through your skin. We all have a natural odor for our bodies. However, we should not be smelling, and it should not smell horrible. If you have any of these signs, you need to go on a fruit-only cleanse for at least a month and start to fast and remove all of this toxic waste within the body. If you are not removing waste from the body, it means it's accumulating within the body, and accumulated waste can turn into diseases. If you are eating 3 times a day, you should be going to the toilet 3 times a day. If not, it is accumulating and building waste within the body. Red fruit is for energy and vitality.
That's crazy, man. How, like, the foods we really be eating, they really be like messing us up. It's like the skin messing up, all type of stuff. That's why you definitely need to get your fruits in, you know, wherever, man. Just get you some fruits, for real.
Twin, I've been straight locked in for 4 weeks straight. No partying, no video games, no distractions at all. Even to the point where I ain't even left the house so I can go get a haircut. And y'all might be asking me why. Because like I said before, I am going to retire before the age of 30. I am willing to sacrifice this moment right now for my future. I am willing to sacrifice my youth to be successful for the rest of my life. I'm willing to sit down and sacrifice my youth for my kids, my grandkids, and my great-grandkids and build generational wealth. And see, what people don't know is you can build a sustainable business just off of one viral video. Who remember the pink sauce lady? That was from a viral video. She started a successful business. Who remember the oil pulling Degora Ronda? That all came from one viral video. If y'all want to learn how to build y'all generational wealth, comment down below ATM and let's get started. Twin, I've been straight locked in for.
So how the hell?
All it takes is that one video. Hey, man, you take it from there, you know?
Have to make sure that all those things that I just mentioned is working right. Is my blood properly flowing throughout my body? If no, then that means there's something obstructing the arteries and the vessels that's bringing the blood in my body. Usually it's some type of calcification or solidification inside the body due to dehydration. So the first thing you need to do is hydrate the cells. You hydrate the cells by H3O2. H3O2 is what you would call structured hydrogen ion, negative ion water. And this is basically drinking juices from fruit or vegetables. All right. Next two, you need to make sure you're getting the proper amount of H2O in your body. And this H2O is basically H plus OH negative when you look at it in chemistry. This is the first chemical change in what they would call photosynthesis. And this is regular spring water that rolls through the earth on a rock bed that collect minerals from the rocks. So natural spring water. So that's what I did. I loaded up on 40 ounces of of fruit juice and vegetable juice a day. And I did 10 ounces of water a day. And I did this for 120 days.
No food, no solids.
No solids at all. So how to heal erectile dysfunction is you have to.
Getting crazy. Have y'all seen what the fuck going on in Bangladesh? The government that took away their access of internet, they put them on curfew, and they tried to implement the same thing that they implemented back in 2020. People stood the fuck up and said no. Now it's been total chaos in Bangladesh.
There is a communication blackout, complete blackout in Bangladesh. The banks are closed. You cannot get your money. It is hot. The government has a curfew on the people over there in Bangladesh because there is a civil war. They don't want to tell us on the television. The Bangladesh government doesn't want the world to know what they're doing to their people. There is no internet. People are not being able to access their money. They don't want to give the people back their money. More than 3,000 people, they believe more than 3,000 are injured because of the police brutality. The army, the Bangladeshi army has been deployed in the entire Bangladesh area. The Prime Minister has left the country and has said that there's nothing they can do right now. The people are being left by themselves to fight against the police brutality. They have the military going all over the place. They have a curfew, and the students, many students, they believe more than 300 now are dead because of the police brutality. Tell me if this is not crazy. There is a whole civil war on that side of the world, and we don't know. Did you know that there is going to be a massive protest in Georgia, here in United States, because of what's happening in Bangladesh? Of course you don't know none of this, because CNN and all of the news channels here in the United States are cowards and paid by the elites.
They implement it around the world, they're gonna do it everywhere else. You think anywhere in your mind that none of that stuff is not gonna come here to America, then you need to wake the fuck up right now. Just a reminder, Bangladesh is right outside of China. Y'all remember all this stuff just now happening in China? Them people banks and shit getting closed down. Y'all remember what just now had happened? We had that outage the other day, and a lot of people in South Carolina and shit like that wasn't even able to take money out their bank, swipe their cards. They was just accepting cash. Now, I don't know what's the outcome of it right now, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. All of it is just a test. So y'all ass need to start getting ready. Have a nice one.
Look at this dog. Why is it laughing like that?
I'm convinced half of the world to not only accept sin, but to celebrate it. Do you know what has been my most enjoyable pride campaign to date?
No, what?
Well, my gay pride campaign, of course. Not only do I get the chance to promote your own self-destruction, I get to use God's logo, the rainbow, to do it. Love is love, right? My plan not only prevents you worthless humans from reproducing, it distorts the gender roles and allows me to bring all types of chaos and confusion upon your pathetic societies. It's been so successful, I've got men convinced they're women, and women convinced they're men, and some convinced they're no gender at all. And I've got 2 more Pride Initiative campaigns I'd like to introduce in the near future. And second is pedophilia pride. Now, society might not be ready for this one just yet, so we'll hold off. I'm convinced half of the...
Do you know what love is?
I do. About helping people.
Yeah.
And being kind.
Okay. I like that. Who do you love?
I love my friend Ray, because he's so nice to me.
When do you feel loved?
When someone hugs me and when I'm not lonely.
When you're not lonely and someone hugs you?
And when I hug myself.
You hug yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's important to hug yourself?
Yeah.
You know that hugging yourself is helpful?
Yeah, but not helpful. But it makes me feel relaxed.
Makes you feel relaxed? Can you show me how you hug yourself? That's what we call self-love, right?
Yeah.
That's important, right?
We have to love ourselves.
Do you know what love is?
I do.
If you fired a bullet in space, some people think the energy would just propel you back. But that's not exactly what would happen. You see, in the vacuum of space, there's no air resistance. And that means that there is nothing to slow the bullet down. So when you pull the trigger, you would be slightly pushed back. But unless it hit something, the bullet would continue traveling in a straight line forever. If you fired a bullet in space,
That's interesting.
Nice and pretty already, and we ain't even dropped in the grease yet. About to wheel it on down. This is what you want right here. Ain't only been 2 minutes. Look at that color. Only 2 minutes. Who frying chicken like this? Crispy, pretty. Popeyes ain't doing like this. We'll be back in another 3-4 minutes. All right, here we go, we back. They're floating, they crisp.
Do not worry, I finally found it. It took about 5 different phone calls and I had to watch a documentary about the art of grilling, but I have a couple of names. This is called the Stainless Steel Collapsible Charcoal Catering Grill, or the High Roller 960 Country Boy. Or if you like the lowering factor of things, but you don't want to fry things, you want to grill things, this is called the Old Country Barbecue Santa Maria Grill. And I don't think you guys understand. Come here. I really don't eat a lot of chicken wings like that. Right? Normally I'll have 1 or 2 depending on the occasion, but when I see all of them cooked like that in unison, right? Where the oil looks so clean right before they're about to dip it in there, and I hear all of them frying like that, and I get, honestly, I want some mac and cheese, I want some biscuits at that point, and then at that point I want about 15 of them. All right, I want about 15 chicken wings, and don't even try to ask me anything because I won't even hear it. I will be simply eating my food and minding my business.
Nice and pretty already.
I agree. That chicken do look good. Now that's better than frying a snake. Last time I seen that was nasty. Alright.
This is what's really happening when you listen to the radio.
Songs are spells. That's what chants means. If you look in French, the word chants, it means song, but it also means a spell. The things that we say, that's why they say you got to be careful. Life and death resides in the tongue. Everything that we say holds value, it holds weight, and it has the ability to trigger things.
Be careful what
so
you
imagine
listen to.
when you take that and you put that to melody and you put that to song that holds you and rocks you. Whatever is embedded in that sound is now embedded in you. It's been proven scientifically. The human mind cannot refuse any information transferred through sound. Now think about all of these records that when you listen to them, you heard them a million times, whether you liked it or not. Matter of fact, how many songs did you not like that you ended up liking later? Yep. Man, I hated this song. I like this song. They kept playing it.
Mm-hmm.
You had no choice but to like it.
What do you think?
Programming.
This is what's really happening when you listen.
Stuff and programming.
Can somebody please explain to me what in the entire fuck are we looking
wow.
at? I know
Is
this
that
is
a
not
chicken crab?
And the craziest part is I'm not even surprised. We have new Pokemon characters every single day now. Like, just imagine y'all walk outside, see
What is that?
busting out trampoline squats, taking pears off y'all tree. And nowadays, you don't know what to believe because it's a strong possibility that this could be AI. Or we got a Dr. Doofus ass nigga running around here splicing genes again. Or the final option is the chicken that somehow, some way plucked some crab cheeks and created this. All I'm saying is if I see something like this, it's gonna sound like the 4th of July or New Year's. Gonna be a lot of boom, a lot of bangs, and a lot of pows. Because I don't think that this abominable creature is supposed to be here. Let me know y'all thoughts.
You said a lot of booms, a lot of bangs. So he's gonna set that thing on fire? Like, dang. That's messed up. But dang, I ain't gonna lie. Imagine walking outside, you see that. Come on, man. You gotta shoot that thing. Something, you gotta die. Crab leg with chicken. That sounds like a good meal. What happened? Oh my god.
If you drink too much water, the excess will fill up your stomach and get absorbed into your bloodstream. This can eventually cause your brain cells to swell up, which pushes your brain into your skull and increases the pressure. And depending on your size, if you drink around 6 liters of water in a few hours, your brain would swell up so much that you could go into a coma and die. If you drink too much water,
that's crazy.
The excess will fill up.
That's insane.
Yo, Pastor, praise the Lord. What did you do? Yo, Pastor.
Okay, my healthy friends, never ever do this. Never buy your kid a backpack, a thermos, or a lunch bag with their name on it, especially if they're traveling alone from school. This is a bad idea because any stranger could see their name on their lunch pack or on their backpack. The stranger could go up to them and say, "Hey, Sophie," or whatever your child's name is, "your mom told me to pick you up," and who knows what may happen. I want to know, do you give your kid a backpack or a lunch bag with their name on it? If you enjoyed this video, follow us for more just like this one. And as always, guys, I want you to stay safe and I want you to stay healthy.
What person's doing that? That is crazy. That would be a bad parent, for real. Bad parent right there.
Somebody said I put honey in my face. Well, guess what, goddess? You wouldn't need to put honey in your face if you do a proper detox and cleansing of your blood. You see, all these different type of skin products that people sell on Instagram, that should look like a joke to me, because you don't need all them skin products, this for your face and the face mask. You just need to clean out your insides. Remember, your skin is a manifestation of what's going on in your inside. So when you have a terrible skin and you got spots, it is dirty. But notice everybody want to put on all this type of skin products to give you clear skin and good skin. Bullshit, foolishness. Clean out the inside, then the inside will basically start to reflect on the outside. You see what I'm saying? And that's all you need. One of the main things you want to focus on is this gut. Okay? Keep this gut clean, all your eczema problem is going to be gone. The gut and the kidneys. Listen, if the gut and the kidneys are clean, you're good to go. You're going to have beautiful, clean, clear skin. All this extra shit that y'all put on your face masks and cucumbers over your eyelids, and all this type of shit, laying down, laser lights on your face, it's a waste of time. It's bullshit. Clean out your insides and then it'll be a reflection on the outside. That's all there is to it. Somebody said I put honey in my face.
Some tonsil stones get so big that people try to pull them out with tweezers. And these stones form when debris like food and dead cells get trapped in the crevices in the back of your throat. Over time, this debris collects and forms into a ball known as a tonsil stone. Now, these stones are usually knocked loose by your mouth movements, but they can sometimes require a formal removal. Some tonsil stones get so big.
Stop, you're not gonna want to miss this. Some people are calling this man a superhero because he learned how to channel his chi. They interviewed this man on the news, and this is what happened.
This is nothing, okay? It's my burn.
He felt like this.
For our sound recordist, it was also a shocker.
Channeling your chi.
He then took our newspaper outside and showed us how chi can also be used to set things on fire.
Chi setting things on fire. Are we seeing this?
When he heard we'd shown this footage in public, he was very upset and refused all our future efforts to contact him again. As the years passed, we sadly resigned ourselves to never seeing him again.
So y'all remember all them patents that we was telling y'all about? That was telling us we really got super abilities? Oh, you thought it was a game. It's not. I'm finna channel my T2 and have superpowers. Stop.
I feel it. I feel it.
In the comments. Like,
man, I really want superpowers one day, for real. That would be so cool to just go outside and just go fly somewhere. You don't need an airplane or nothing. Nah, that's dope. For real.
Best way to gain control of the most intelligent, powerful species on the planet would be to completely divide them from the love within themselves. As soon as they are old enough to begin creating an understanding of who they are, force them into a system that teaches them that it is wrong to be yourself if yourself is different from what is accepted as normal. Confuse them about their own biological makeup so that they think that permanently altering their body is the answer to happiness. Require their daily attendance at an institution that makes them focus only on the information that is provided. Make them attend that institution from age 5 until an adult and repeatedly test them on the information so that it becomes their truth. Give them an explanation to everything so that they never have a chance to make their own assumptions of the world. Scold them and humiliate them if they suggest an opinion that opposes that of their authorities. Keep reminding them of how cruel their ancestors were to each other in the past and broadcast how cruel they are to each other in the present. Only show them tragedies on the news so that they live in fear and think the worst of one another. Convince them that their species used to be that of an incognizant wild animal. Make them think that their very existence is so incredibly random that they lack purpose and struggle to make sense of a creator. Tell them that their kind is as smart as they've ever been so that they don't question the integrity of the system that they're in. Provide them idols with artificial beauty and use them as examples of what it is to look perfect so that they are never content with their own appearance and can't help but to compare themselves amongst each other. Best way to gain control of the most intelligent, powerful species.
Yo, have you ever grilled on a piece of wood before instead of a grill? This is no ordinary piece of wood. This is Western red cedar wood, which is made into a grilling plank that you could soak into a marinade or a vegetable broth, add it to the grill, add your food directly onto the plank, and it's gonna infuse it with a nice smoky flavor that should improve the texture. To me, food is all about adding the right textures and flavors. I've never tried this before, so I wanted to try it on camera. Let's see how it goes. After cooking all the water out of the mushroom and marinating the mushroom, I smoked it, and oh my God. Plank was a success in my opinion. The food was really flavorful, very smoky, but cooking directly on the wood actually slow cooked the lion's mane and allowed the smokiness to infuse the lion's mane more, but also it didn't burn it or char it too much because it had this layer in between. I would most definitely use it again. Thank you for watching. Peace. Yo, have you ever grilled on a piece?
There is also a breaking headline tonight involving Russia. The Pentagon just confirming reports that Russia likely launched what's called a counter-space weapon capable of attacking and possibly destroying U.S. satellites. It's now in the same orbit as a U.S. government satellite. So let's get right to ABC's Martha Raddatz on what this means. Martha, what have you learned?
David, this has been a significant last Thursday that Russia launched this satellite into low Earth orbit, a satellite that the Pentagon does believe is capable of attacking other satellites in low Earth orbit. This video from Russia's military appearing to show that launch. While there's no indication that Russia plans on attacking other satellites, and it is not the first time Russia has done this, when asked if the Russian counter-space weapon posed a threat to U.S. satellites, a Pentagon spokesman said it's a counter-space weapon in the same orbit as a U.S. government satellite. The deputy U.S. ambassador to the UN is calling this launch troubling. David?
Troubling indeed. You'll continue to track it for us, Martha. Thank you. There is also a break.
All right, so here we go right here.
I've been getting death threats since last year. I ain't never stopped teaching. I went harder, nigga. This shit started on Facebook. The real no. Kicked off Facebook for 6 months for telling y'all the truth. Then we went to Instagram. Instagram started blocking me for telling y'all the truth. Nigga, don't nobody get blocked more than me, nigga. Nobody. Nobody. Average motherfucker would have been folded. I'm still 10 toes. You don't know the half of what a nigga go through just to present the information to y'all. This shit ain't just hit me from the internet. Nigga, they start death threats in real life. I didn't stop teaching y'all. That turns into cases. How I kidnapped my own son. So what does that tell you? All this man doing is getting on the fucking phone and talking to us, man. Who the f*** been getting death threats since last year?
Here's how I grew over 100 pounds of food starting with potatoes. First, I folded my Amazon boxes like this and filled it with soil and compost. Then I sowed my potatoes about 10 inches apart and gave it a good watering. Here's what it looked like after 1 month. I gave it another boost of fertilizer and just 3 months later, it's ready to harvest. All I had to do was yank up the boxes and collect the spuds. Seriously, this was the easiest plant I've ever grown and it will now be a staple in my garden. We harvested about 30 pounds to share with our friends and cooked the rest. I sliced the russet Burbanks and turned it into the crispiest waffle fries. Look at that. John chopped the red Norlands and made the most delicious roasted potatoes to share with our family and neighbors. For our Cal Whites, of course I had to make my favorite scallop potatoes. This was unbelievably good. Like this video and follow along to learn how to start your garden today. Here's how I...
That's crazy. She didn't even get no crazy stuff. Like, she used some boxes at first, and then she upgraded to this. That's, hey, goes to show you, hey, you don't need the best of everything. Just start with what you got, you know, what you have. Alright, y'all, that's gonna do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed that, got something from it, got a little laugh and all that good stuff. Well, that being said, peace, abundance, prosperity, and good health your way. Make sure you take care of yourself, and if the weather is nice, please get outside in that sun, alright? But with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next upload. Peace.